Peace and love. What up, though? What it do? What's popping? What's cracking? What's happening in time 9, time 10, time 9, time 10, time 9, time 9, time 9. I promise this is going to be short and to the very point. As usual, I hear a lot of conversations taking place right now. And I seem to stand alone on this one, right? I've seen portions in a minute here and a minute there, and a few social media posts or posts. Is that a word? Posts about, and isn't that funny? I'm laughing because I'm in the middle of my own trauma, right? And being that as a people who have been singled out in what we call North America, some of y'all call the United States of America, and so on and so forth. Yes, if you don't have to be darker than a brown paper bag nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got that woolly crown. You know what I'm saying? And even if you don't got the super woolly, you got the super curly crown, and you are heavily melanated or somewhat melanated, or we'll just say you do not fit the description of Eurasian, European, German stock or whatnot. You're automatically a part of the peoples who I'm talking about. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. I can use the word black. I can use the word a whole bunch of other words. Other people like y'all want to be FBAs and ABCs and CDDs, and if you read, what's scrolling at the bottom of the screen, you know who we are, or exactly who we are. No ifs, ands, or buts, or assumptions, or any of this, right? When it comes to this particular rock, if you will, rock. I don't care how you shape it, flatten it, whatever you may imagine it to be. Nobody predates us anywhere on this rock or mother planet. That's messed up. I gotta be careful about using the word mother plane based on people, begin to make the assumptions that you're a flat earther. You believe in I don't have the ruler to measure any of that. I have no interest in that. What I do know are some facts. Don't know all the facts. I know some facts, right? And that's what we're gonna deal with. So let's talk about it. I ain't finished doing what I was doing. I'm trying to share the YouTube version of this presentation on other social media platforms. So let's see if I can get that done and keep you all interested in this particular topic, because I know a lot of people again have various opinions about that. But as I previously stated, I don't, and I have not seen anybody present what I'm going to present on this live broadcast this evening, right, on this Augustus 17. I don't even, I ain't seen it. So I'm gonna have to put it out here. Let me go back. I got it, but I need to go back. This is all eyes on me, like Tupac, a metal Shakur. Yes, it is. Like it, love it, hate it. I got you. Seconds. Yeah. All right. So let's get right on into it. So some, in our communities, it seems to be that there's a portion of people who support the National Guard troops being released in DC. Right? No, I didn't finish. Oh, I finished it. Okay. Now it's finished. So there has been, and I don't even see an exact number. I'm not saying that there's no exact number available when it comes to the amount of National Guard troops that have been unleashed on the people of Washington, D.C. Now, we're going to look at this not just from both sides of the coin, but we're going to deal with the facts and what gives the orange guy the authority to unleash these troops, right, into D.C., right? Say D.C., District of Columbia, things like this and that. Well, that very sentence has a lot to do as to why he has the authority in which to do so. You read your Constitution, your organic Constitution, and it begins to speak about that 10-mile square radius. Let's put something on the screen too when I'm sitting here, because what y'all don't need to see is me right now. I'm in my pajamas. She got on her pajamas. I just think this picture right here is just hilarious. I know I just saw this and fell in love with this hilarious. And these days and times right now need some things to bring about some type of laughter, because it's a disaster. You know, there are literally billions being poured into the Ukraine and the Russia saga. See, y'all don't get it. I know most of my people have been rocked to sleep and have selective memory and amnesia and trauma and things like this and that. Because if you are looking at what I'm looking at and you make a comparison as to the type of funding that's being put behind Washington, D.C. versus the type of monetary support that Ukraine and attention that Ukraine and Russia is getting versus the D.C. team, there's no comparison. Okay? Now, I just want to talk about us for a minute, right? Or for the duration, maybe, of this presentation, right? You got some of us who are in support of those troops being in D.C. You say that, the criminal acts that are taking place need to be ended. And, it's going to be some of my brothers and sisters who step forth and say, well, that's on us. If we were taking care of our own communities, our own neighborhoods, and things like this and that, this wouldn't be going down. They wouldn't feel the need to come, and you welcome them to come, because we as a people just cannot seem to come together in unity to solve our own issues. So some of you say that this is a good thing that they are in D.C. right now, right? Y'all funny, because I've heard it be sliced and diced into several different sections, right? In order to support the national troops being there. And I'm talking about our people doing that. And in order to justify them being there, right? I saw a video yesterday where a sister punched a cop, and a cop pushed her Superman strength into a car. He pushed her super hard into a car. And the type of comments up under the video being made by melanated people and by the others, it was just sickening, right? Because it seems nobody took into consideration that what's the precursor of that. Like, why did she hit that cop? We know why the cop pushed her, you see, but what made her swing on that cop? I don't see that question being asked anywhere. So let's get back to it. I just explained how the orange guy has jurisdiction or authority to send those troops to that particular city. And I already heard that some years ago, the dignitaries or the mayor of DC asked Biden to send troops there because the crime was just out of control, right? I don't know what is wrong with us that you have not put 1 and 1 and 2 and 2 together. and figured out, well, okay, we're talking about crime, right? And when we begin to talk about crime, you have to factor in poverty. You have to factor in the type of mental illness that comes with poverty, right? You're talking about people who are living under very stressful circumstances. And there is a very simple solution. And that solution is this. The same way that they are sending financial aid to other nations, and specifically I was just pointing out Ukraine and Russia, to heal them and stop them from fucking fighting and killing each other. But you don't think that financial aid is the answer to stop people living in these cities, these melanated people, from harming each other and harming others and harming themselves? I don't know what is wrong with us. When it comes to us, the Willie Lynch thing and all of this and that, it's like we can't think past them chains. You come up with the same answers that your enemies come up with, which is, send the policy and enforcers to further harm our people. Instead of being like the orange guy and Biden and the rest of them and saying, hey, the answer to this is financial aid. See, when you take people out of poverty and they don't have the stress and worries, not to mention y'all owe us. So the solution to stopping the crime in these various cities is to balance the books by way of cutting the checks that y'all owe us. You don't see rich or wealthy people in the middle of the street drinking liquor and harming one another because they not in a state of poverty. So again, they see the people in Palestine and the people in what they call in Israel or Jerusalem and things like this and that, living in poverty, harming one another. So they send financial aid. Why the fuck they can't pay us reparations so that people aren't living in poverty and harming one another and robbing one of theirs when they come into that particular zone? Why is the answer always to send a bunch of troops or to send the policy enforcers to further harm us, right? To injure us, to kidnap us and hold us for ransom? I don't know what's wrong with my people. You watch them give aid to various other nations who are in dire need, who are injuring one another. And again, the answer is always financial aid. But we have a very significant, a special situation, being that for the kidnapping, for the vagrancy laws, for the red summers, for the red lining, they owe us. They very well owe us over any motherfucking body else reparations, restitution, and compensation. Because of the Christian black codes, because of the various fucked up millions of policies that they put out here to make sure that we are no longer able in a mass number to pass along generational wealth. We can talk about slavery, but I call it kidnapping, because that's what it is to this day. They're still kidnapping us and holding us for ransom and saying, you my Negro. You are now my warehouse receipt. I own you for life because when you came, you passed through the womb of your mother, I put some numbers on you, and I'm going to keep putting numbers on you, and I'm going to keep writing bonds off of you, and I ain't going to never balance the books and cut the checks because y'all ain't going to never demand it. You are too split in fucking opinion instead of looking at the facts. The only thing that is ever going to stop this crime in these inner cities, which they don't give a fuck about, the only reason Trump sent these troops out is because one of the Doge guys got robbed and beat up or something like that, a carjack. I don't know what the fuck it is because I don't care. But that's what happened. One of his people was injured and violated in Washington, D.C. So he sent these troops out. He didn't send it out to stop the so-called black people from murdering one another. And I'm going to say it again. The only answer to this problem is to cut the fucking checks the same way you do for every other fucking nation. I need y'all to wake up. I need all of y'all who keep supporting this system to wake up. I need you to know your history. I need you to know that this is a repeat. This ain't the first time they've done this. And again, all of you who support them doing this and support the orange guy, I'm telling you that you don't know what the fuck you talking about. Because you have no idea what you supporting. And yeah, I'm using French, so what? I'm from Dey-Twah, right? You see, we got to update. This is no longer the Alhambra Society 313. This is now Mama Dey-Twah. And I'm representing the babies and the pop-pops. You see? But that's what this is. That's exactly what this is. I have not heard one individual explain this to you the way that I'm doing it. I'm seeing people that split. I'm seeing people just say, oh, this is racist. This is beyond racist. Again, they have no problem giving financial aid to other nations who are facing the same issues as a Oakland, as a Detroit, as a Chicago, as a Washington, D.C., a Baltimore, and so on and so forth. But when it comes to us, no, go knock them in the head, put them shackles on them, kidnap them, and hold them for ransom. And while you holding them, by the way, make sure they working for pennies the same way they was back in the day. Nothing is fucking changed. Nothing. Y'all hurt my heart so bad to be so goddamn stupid. And I don't give a fuck. I'm a cuss. I don't care who get mad. So what? I'm mad too. I'm mad at the fact that you would be so gullible to accept. You can say police brutality, but let's deal with the origins of the police departments. Their fraternal orders, right? They highwaymen. They were created to do exactly what you see them doing in DC, which is violate us. Again, you have a people who are living in poverty. Most of them just above the poverty line. Some of them just at the poverty line. And the rest of them just below the poverty line. Then you have scattered sprinkles of middle class and upper middle class. And some sprinkles of melanated millionaires in that particular area. The same way you do in Ukraine. The same way in Palestine and every fuckwhere else, where they analyze that situation and say our remedy and recourse is up under the guise of financial aid. But they never fucking do that with us. And y'all accept this shit, amen it, ass kiss this orange motherfucker, right? This is what I'm saying. This is exactly what I am seeing. And this is the very reason that, okay, we complain about the other nationalities of people coming into our neighborhoods, opening up various businesses and beer and wine stores and alcohol stores and Subways and church chicken. And we spend money there, but we don't own them. It's because we cannot seem to fucking come together and stand on what is right. You motherfuckers follow that algorithm like a baby. Whatever that orange motherfucker say, or whatever their so-called law enforcement say, you get right in line with that shit. Yeah, it's too much crime, and a baby got shot yesterday. And do you think this shit would be happening if they balance the books and cut the checks and pay us what the fuck they owe us? Marinate on it. Please do. Please do, because I'm sick of y'all making us, or some of us, making the rest of us look incompetent. Because that's exactly how you look when you watch the news or read the paper or you be on the internet, and you very well see them rendering financial aid to other nations. But when it comes to us, hit them in the head. When you put them in the cop car, make sure you bust the head to the white meat. This orange motherfucker is saying all of this shit. And it's none of us should be applauding it. But many of you are. Yeah, you are. Sickening. Incompetent. Extremely incompetent. This system, it has been modified multiple times. But never has there been any repair for the red summers, the redlining, the Christian black codes, right? The vagrancy laws, the Jim Crow. I'm so done. I'm so done with you people. And I sound like Karen, you people. Because that's how, hey, if you acting like you people, then I'm going to call you people. Oh, I don't want to get on here and click nothing. And I got so many other slides. But I promised this was only going to be a few minutes. So it's only going to be a few minutes. Let me see something. It's only going to be a few minutes. I'm just not getting to the point to where I can get back to expressing myself due to the traumatic circumstances that I'm suffering on an individual basis. So it's very traumatizing to watch what's going on. It's very sickening to know, you seen the headline, you got 3 different Republican governors announcing that they're going to send hundreds of National Guard troops to President Donald Trump's already 800 strong deployment in Washington, D.C. Crazy. It would be so much easier to balance the books by way of cutting the checks that they owe us, the same way they do for everybody else. I hear the victim. Oh, you're playing victim and the entitlement. You can kiss. Look here. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't. What you are doing is you're literally regurgitating shit out of the neo-Nazi skinhead Ku Klux Klan manual, and you don't even know it. That's how mentally unstable our people are, from the top to the bottom. From those of you, some of you who are carrying masters and doctorates are saying dumb shit like this. So you're not smart at all to me. You're regurgitating pages out of the racist people's book, the invaders people's book. And you so incompetent, but think you so fucking smart that you don't even know it. That is their language. That is their propaganda. And you are reciting the shit word for fucking word. Again, this is why the Asians I almost said that word, and the Arabs and the East Indians and everybody else can come into our areas and set up shop. So I'm done. Y'all take this, smoke on it. If you gotta listen to it 19 times, then listen to it 19 times. This ain't about no fucking crime. I'm not naive and incompetent enough to sit here and say that there is no crime. Right? That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying to you is, in order to heal our people, you're going to have to cut the fucking checks that you owe us. I guarantee you that when people are living in nice houses and have the ability to invest not just in various ventures, but into themselves, their children, their husband, wives, mothers, daughters, whatever the fuck, they will not be in the streets committing crimes. These are things that are typical when people are living in poverty. And sending hundreds or thousands of national troops is not the answer. So I'm done. Y'all have the greatest of the great evening, and I'm gonna try to stay consistent as possible, because I know I'm right. I know I'm right. So pass it on. Like, share, comment, and let's build further on this. I'm gonna say this too. It's been a bunch of people hitting me up like, why you ain't talking about, what's going on in DC? Blah, 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 blah. Again, I've been going through my own stuff, if you will. But I'll be back stronger than ever to give y'all the messages that I don't hear nobody else giving. I'm not trying to come on here and talk to y'all about the same shit, giving the same dumbass opinions as others in their cheerleaders. Just insane. But that's it, y'all. Peace.